Hello and welcome to day 3. I've had a few really abundant and free days and loving days lately. I've been doing a lot of internal exploration, and it's funny, we try to deny our human experience. Sometimes we think that this journey of being human is linear, meaning that when I do this, then I become this, then I become this, and we think that we've graduated from the previous level. And it's just not true. Any human at any particular stage is vulnerable to being a human. And the part of being human is that we're finite and limited, and we're all exposed to being vulnerable and being limited in what we can do and having particular experiences. No one, as much as we want to put people on pedestals and think that they're enlightened and, on this journey and that they're achieving these great things, and you can see people on Instagram posting, doing all these amazing things. No one, just keep that in mind. No one, no matter who they are or what they tell you, is free from being a human. And so I want to share some of my humanity today and be vulnerable with that. And I hope that you too can accept a bit of your humanity. And if you're struggling with something, or judging yourself or criticizing yourself or saying you need to be somewhere else or someone else, I would propose to you that you can't, because you're exactly where you are, and it's not possible to be anywhere else and to be anyone else. You're exactly where you need to be. And if that's watching this video, that's pretty cool too. So thank you for being here. And I hope this can shed some light on some humanity. But what I want to go into is really the development of us as humans. And when we're born, we are one with our mother, and we can get food and everything we need very easily, like instantaneously. And then we're born and we go into this painful separation from oneness, and we become our own being. And so we cry and we learn all these things that we need to do in order to get what we need, to get food, to get love, attention, whatever it is, whatever we need, we learn ways to do it. And we continue to do that, and we learn to talk, and eventually about the age of 3, the ego comes online. And the ego at the end of the day is a relational thing that we need. The ego is not bad. It gets a bad rap because, your ego this and whatever. Ego is the enemy. We need the ego to communicate with each other. We would not exist with each other without the ego. And the ego comes online, and we're able to then see the world in a different way because we learn who we are. An ego is an identity. It's who the mind thinks it is about itself. And so, at a really young age, all we understand in the maturity aspect is that there's me, there's other people, and other people give me what I need. I need to get this from them. I don't even understand yet at that really young age that they have needs and getting things from me. It's just I get these things from them. And so we start to learn new behaviors that get us what we need. And this all forms a part of this ego and this identity. And what I like to call as our, we really start to upload our software, because we have hardware as human beings, our physical body, but then we have software, and it's all these behaviors, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, everything about who we think we are and what we have to do. And it all succumbs into this, whatever you want to call it. You can call it the ego, the identity, but you become a somebody essentially. You're a certain gender, and you are a certain age at a different time. You're someone's son. You have a name. You have a nationality. You are a part of this race. That's just a part of your identity. But then there's also behaviors that you learn. You learn to in order to get attention, you might cry, or you might learn that it's not safe to cry. You might learn to get food. You might even, there's a stage where we learn to lie to get what we need. And that's a part of being human. We all learn to lie at some stage. But it all fall part of this, and especially up until the age of 7, it's a really formative years. And so it creates this software that impacts us for the rest of our lives. And that's the thing. No one can escape from that. There is, as much as people try to run from their default programming or that software, especially in those formative years, you cannot, I promise you. But I like to call, so as we grow, they continue, and there's a certain age where, we see our parents as they're the ones that give us safety and meet our needs, or our caregivers, or whoever the adult is in our space, hopefully meeting our needs. And the thing is when we're young, we sacrifice our true identity, who we really are, to get what we need. So that means if the adult hurts us, or we perceive hurt from the adult, we will change ourselves to fit in, to get what we need. We will say, I'm the one that's fundamentally flawed and I'm broken. I need to appease, because the adult is the thing that if there's something wrong with them, we die. So we need them. We need them to be perfect and good. So we blame ourselves. And this is not blaming any parents. Every parent messes your kids up. That's just, that's the human experience. Everyone's format is formatted that way, no matter who you are, parents and all. And we all get this programming, and we all have these, and it creates this separate identity. This is who I am. This is who I need to be. And that might be, for me, talking about my vulnerabilities and some of the behaviors that I picked up. It's definitely being the good boy who achieves and who performs and who looks after people's emotions and makes sure that everyone else is okay, and is nice and kind, and also plays small, hide, doesn't take too much attention, does the right thing, playing small. Like, all these behaviors are so, and that's why it's hard for me to share. I know I can do this now, but it took a long time for me to be able to even talk on camera, let alone share it. Anything. Like, it's this journey that I'm on, this of self-discovery, for me is accepting that I am human, but then chipping away at these learnt behaviors to become me, essentially dissolve. It's not that I am broken. It's that I am adaptive. I adapted these behaviors to survive. It's not a bad thing that we did this. It's actually a really strong survival thing. When I look back at my younger self, our young Adam did what it needed to do to survive. And I'll talk about the inner child in a different episode here, and we can go more into that. But essentially what I want to get at today is we all have this software, this default programming that is running our lives from when we were younger. And it made sense when we were younger. We needed to do these things in order to get love and fit in and be accepted. Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be a part of the tribe. We would die, essentially. So we do these things. It makes sense, right? It's evolution. We need to have safety and care and love and fit in and be a part of the tribe. And the part where, as we grow, we then change our main influence from being our parents and caregivers to our peers. And that's a part of psychological development. And then we change our identity even more to fit in, to get validation from our peers. And that's something that I'm really struggling with at the moment, is, trying to let go of that, trying to control how people perceive me. And for me, perfectionism isn't about creating really good stuff. It's about avoiding negative outcomes. And it's about control at the end of the day. And it's a safety mechanism to try and control my environment so that I am safe. And it can be really tough because we live in an uncertain world, and perfectionism is trying to control outcomes. which is impossible to do. So it can be really hard, and I'll talk more about perfectionism in another video, that'll be another topic. But I guess as you see behind me, I've got the list of things today, but that default programming I'm talking about is inherited. It's inherited from when you were growing up, but it's also millions of years of evolution to become who you are today. Like, to think that any of this is up to us and because of certain events, like, they influence it, but it is nature and nurture. We've been evolving for millions of years, and we've evolved this way for a reason. There is a purpose for us being here. And I truly believe, at the moment anyway, it's to transcend these constraints, these limitations, and really dissolve these limitations that we have and these beliefs, because a lot of these beliefs are unconscious, which means that we don't know where they're blind spots. We're not aware of what's around us. And tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about how we see the world through beliefs. But the beliefs are a huge part of this default programming and this software. But the cool thing is this software is not us. There was a time where we were born as babies, where before we had this software uploaded to us, we were just being. We didn't die because we didn't have it, essentially. So as much as it is a human part and a human experience, it's not us, this software. And so we can take ourselves lightly in knowing that you're not the ego. You're not your identity. It's all made up. It's like you got given this special suit to wear when you were growing up, and you put it on every day and you believe it's you, even though it might not fit. So especially if you're someone whose suit doesn't fit, like, know that that's okay. We can start to dissolve these things because it's not actually you. It's a lie. The lie I lived for a long time was that I'm not wanted, is one of the beliefs I had. I thought that I struggled so much in friendship groups because I was perceiving the world through the belief that I wasn't wanted. So everything that happened, I thought I was interpreting it as they don't want me. They're rejecting me. And that's a heavy belief to carry. But when I reflect on my history, it makes sense. And I can accept that. It's always going to be a part of me, and I'm always going to have times where I go back to that, like the last day and a half. I get these really big highs and I'm floating and I'm, being my true self, and then it's snapped back, right? It's just a good reminder that you're human and you still got all these human experiences, but it's not about denying or resisting it. Like, they are a part of me, and I can love that human part of me and accept that human part of me. So I guess what I'm going to end on here and leave with today is just leave you thinking, is like, what behaviors do you do? What beliefs might you have? What emotions do you feel all the time? And you attach to being you. If you're someone that says, I'm an unhappy person, I'm frustrated all the time, and I'm an angry person, like that, I am this. That's a powerful statement to think, because you're labeling yourself as something. And when you label yourself as something, you become that. Abracadabra, as you speak, so we create. Well, words are so important. And that's what the mind uses, this software uses. It runs on language. So who we think we are is based on language. So be very aware of your language, and maybe things where, so triggers or resistance, where you feel trigger or resistant energy and you want to avoid and you want to escape, you want to run away or blame or complain. Great indicators as to where we're not free, to where we're struggling, and there is a constraint there and a limitation in our, that's where we're living in survival, when we feel like we need to perform and be a certain way. And so that's that software, that survival mode, that ego that we're trying to slowly chip away at. It's actually not us, it's not you, I promise you, but we all have it. And that's okay. It's a part of our humanity. We're not trying to run away from it. But I'll leave it there. I know it's a bit of a longer video today, but I think it's an important one. And if anyone wants to share their common humanity with me and my struggles today, feel free to drop some comments and let me know how you're going. Appreciate you. Thank you.